I, I do. I agree with that actually. I,
Good, because I'm a professional. I'm a professional counselor.
I know. Turns out I am actually a professional counselor.
So I've just been brought in for a second opinion. Is that what's going on here?
I'm ready to do a scene.
Okay.
Three.
Okay. Pneumonia. We think that your mom has caught pneumonia since she's come out of the operating room. She was recovering in the ICU and she was doing well, but then she's sort of taken a turn for the worse. We think that she has pneumonia, but she should be able to get through it.
Okay. I guess. Thank you. Do I say thank you for a prognosis? But I guess thank you for letting me know. Do you know? Is this something that happens typically when you get out of the operating room? Like sometimes pneumonia develops. Like I don't really know. I thought you caught pneumonia. My mom would always be like, put on a coat.
Correct.
You're gonna catch a pneumonia.
Not really connected to temperature. It's oftentimes with older people, they will aspirate. Have you ever had that experience of getting a little moisture down in your throat in the wrong way, and you have to cough, or like a little piece of food down your throat in the wrong way?
Yes.
So with older people, when they start having trouble swallowing, or they may have a piece of something catch in their throat, and it sort of brings bacteria with it. And so yes, they catch pneumonia, but the parasites are already inside of us.
Parasites?
Well, the virus.
Okay.
Like the virus can exist in your mouth and it's fine. You don't get sick. But when it gets down into your lungs, then it causes an infection that can be serious.
Got it. Okay. Am I able to see her? Or is she seeing visitors?
Sure, yeah. You can. She's. We have her sedated. So she's not really conscious right now.
Got it.
Still a little bit of pain coming off the surgery.
That makes sense. Maybe I'll let her rest then. Yeah.
How are you doing? Are you doing okay?
I tried to get some Fritos from the vending machine and nothing dispensed, and I started crying. So that seemed, I don't know what that means, but typically if there's like a vending machine mishap, I usually don't cry. So like I feel fine, but then something like that happens, and then I'm like, am I fine? Is this okay?
Right.
I like couldn't find a parking spot when I first got here, which I was stressed because, they rushed her here. So I wanted to get here as fast as possible, but like I couldn't find a parking spot, and I just started screaming, and I punched my radio, and so that's broken now. But like that felt like I was like, whoa, normally I'm not punching my radio. This seems like a different emotional experience that I'm going through. So the traditional answer is I'm doing okay. But I'm going to give you some context to explain kind of why that might not be the full truth of my okay. But I'm okay.
I see. Well, you might want to talk to one of our counselors. We have counselors. Would you like to talk to one of our counselors?
That sounds.
I think he's just right in the other. He's just right down the hall in this other room. Why don't I go get him? I'll go get him.
that sounds
I'm
great.
sure he's wrapping up with the patient he was talking to, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that. How is it already 4:15?
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going? I was told that you're having some issues.
I don't know if they're issues. I've had some bursts of high emotion
Yeah.
in experiencing this, stressful time. I think it's rooted in a lot of, fear of, my mom being, they did this, surgery that was very rushed. I didn't have a lot of
So you
information.
think it's about your mother?
I guess in terms of, she's the one that's why I'm here, because she's here.
Yeah.
But not necessarily because of her. I mean, technically, I guess it's because she's here, but not my emotional bursts are probably more rooted in my own emotional landscape, and not blaming her is what I wanted to clarify.
No, I hope you're not blaming her. She's in the hospital.
Right. I understand that, and I wouldn't blame her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope not. I hope you wouldn't be misplacing your emotional instability and putting it on your mother. That would not be a healthy way to go through life.
I agree with that, actually.
Good, because I'm a professional. I'm a professional counselor.
I know. Turns out I am actually a professional counselor. I didn't know how to say that to the doctor that went to get you. So like, I'm also kind of navigating this from what my personal experience.
So I've just been brought in for a second opinion. Is that what's going on here?
Well, I don't know if you need to air quote second opinion. I didn't. That's not really what I requested. Dr. Humphrey suggested that it was good to talk to a counselor, and you can't self-assess. So I'm trying to talk to you, but I do know some of the steps.
Yeah, sounds well. Maybe you just don't need any help then. Maybe you got it all figured out.
I don't. But I do appreciate your insight. And you know what? I'm gonna let go of a lot of my personal, defenses when it comes to my professional experience.
That's good.
And I will acknowledge that in this moment, I'm very emotional. And I would say instability is probably a good word for it, because typically I feel very stable. And, I don't know if Dr. Humphrey told you, I punched my radio and I cried when some Fritos didn't come out of the vending machine. So like, these are different. These are things that typically I'm not expressing those feelings. So this is new for me. Yeah.
Do you think perhaps that you are a danger to yourself or to other people?
I'm gonna try. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this objective for my own subjective experience, and I would say I don't think it's dangerous to cry about a vending machine debacle.
You're talking very carefully. I can see you're carefully choosing your words because you don't want to. You're not ready to deal with the real issues that are coming up right now about how you are a violent person and you have an emotional life that is out of control, and that you may need to spend some time away from things, recovering and really working on yourself to deal with this emotional and violent behavior.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm listening to what you are saying. I appreciate your insight. I wouldn't say I'm a violent person. I would say that the circumstances that I'm currently in have me escalated in terms of my emotional volatility when it comes to small obstacles that throw off what I consider my sense of control.
You're obviously not ready for any truth. Okay, so just
I'm not,
You're
Mike,
not
I'm
ready.
telling you exactly. What this,
Hey, wasn't he great? Isn't he great? He just
who,
helps me. He is such an amazing psychotherapist. I just, he's so helpful around here. Did you have a good
um,
experience with him?
I did not. I did not. And I will say that outright. I think I'm going through a lot right now. I think I'm um, very worried about my mother's condition, and it's set off a series of frustrations that I've been dealing with. I think he thinks I'm a violent,
Mm-hmm.
emotional monster that I'm. You went
Dear
wide-eyed.
God,
You just reacted. I'm not. I'm saying that's what he
that was
thinks.
his diagnosis of
Not
you.
not an official diagnosis whatsoever. I didn't
So,
thank him the way I thanked you for your
all right,
prognosis of
I'm
my
gonna get the
mother.
commitment papers. We're gonna get you all set up.
Oh,
He is
I'm
never
not.
wrong. He is
I
never
think.
wrong. I think you're gonna. We'll put you in a psychiatric ward. We'll have you stay overnight. Maybe stay for the weekend. A little
Oh,
observation.
this is really
I think
going
it's.
off the rails. I told him I'm a counselor as well. Actually, that's my.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm a guidance counselor at a high school, but I have gone through the training to know the signs of somebody going through a time of
Mhm.
emotional danger. I wouldn't consider myself. I think the circumstances being what they are, I'm going through what I'm going through, and I think you and him coming
Mhm.
at me with this
Let
diagnosis
it
of
out.
me being some danger. Okay, yeah, and I am
You can
letting
let
it
it out.
out.
You can take it out on me. I'm a strong person.
You must be because you're a doctor. You give a lot of bad news a lot of the time. Because I'm sure you have lots of bad news. The way my mom got pneumonia,
Yeah.
leaving a surgery.
This reminds
That
me.
seems pretty dangerous. Mm-hmm.
Uh, while you were talking to the counselor, your mother passed.
Passed through the pneumonia. She's past it.
I'm afraid she's no longer with us.
In a different floor. You're not her doctor anymore.
Well, I mean, I'll have to sign the death certificate. Would you like to talk to our counselor again?
Death certificate.
Why don't you? I'll bring the counselor back and have him. I really should have.
Oh, I think I'm about to. Yeah. Okay. Hmm.
Hey there, Sporto. How you doing? I just told what happened with your mother. Do you feel like
I'm.
punching someone? Do you feel like punching someone right now?
I think you're leading me in a time when I am especially emotionally sensitive. Okay.
You
This
want to punch
is.
me? Come on.
I'm
You want
not
to
gonna.
punch me?
You don't have to
Come on,
point.
tough guy. Tough guy. Tough guy's going through some tragedy. You can punch me.
What?
You can take it
I.
out of me.
I don't need. I don't need to take anything out on you. I need to grieve my mother, apparently, which happened while I was talking to you, which I didn't request and I didn't want, and you didn't help, and I missed the final moments with my mother. Where did you get those Fritos from?
Would
And
you like one?
those were my Fritos that
I
I
just found them in the vending machine.
I didn't get them because they got stuck in the machine when I paid, and you got my Fritos while my mother died? You got
I,
what justice is there in the world if I wasn't even with my mother and you're eating my snack food? I, I've never been so horrified by a professional in my life. You knew. I just told you that I reacted like that, and you use it against me to. I don't even know what this is anymore. Are you trying to? Are you trying to? Is this a breakthrough? Am I having a breakthrough right now?
I think you are. I think you're owning it finally.
I
And
mean,
now the healing can begin.
I don't know if that's true or what happened, but I'm so sad. And I don't feel like punching, but I do feel like signing like signing some papers. If you got any papers,
I do
maybe.
have some papers. I need to see your health insurance. We're going to have to bill
That
this
was a
to your health
trick.
insurance.
That was a trick. This is the kind of bad uh, counselor work that you make people do. You make people react like this. You send them into fits. What kind of doctor are you? What kind of doctor are you?
And see.
That was very fun.
That was fun. If you'd like to see more videos, please subscribe and hit the bell.